Hello everyone, Mark Anton Audio here. I am the sort of pseudo-proud owner of an Akai MPK 61. The reason I say pseudo-proud is the drum pads on this MIDI keyboard are notoriously not great. So I have purchased some little pad things, some little rubbery pads from eBay along with a set of instructions from a guy called Quite Bazaar, and I'm going to do a before and after test. So here is our before test. I'm going to pan the camera down so we can see the pads themselves and random Cthulhu dude. And I've also got a battery open on the right side of the screen so you can see the triggers. Okay, right, so one of the big problems with the pads on this is that they do not respond well to very fast hits. So I'll just try and do like straight 16th notes here on my kick. Okay, you can hear a couple of missed triggers there. That one especially was not great at all there. A lot of missed triggers. So I'm currently in full level mode, which means every hit that I do is put out at 127 velocity. But the real problem with this thing is I can almost never use it without full level. So I'll do the same amount of pressure I was doing there. So it's easy to get it kind of quiet, but to get it up the top velocity, you have to really hit the damn thing. And it has sensitivity controls. You can go through the menu and adjust sensitivity controls, but I've never been happy with it. I always find that like it's either far too quiet or way up at 127. So I find it really difficult to get even volumes between the pads there, and then I end up like going into battery or whatever, or Kong or in Reason, whatever it is I'm using, and mucking around with the volume controls in here to try and compensate. And it's like, see that there, I'm physically hitting it, but it's not even triggering. So it's really difficult to get very low volumes without having to smack the thing, and then by the time you're smacking it, you're already putting out too much volume. So what's that? No triggers. Hardly any triggers there. Silly. Okay, so that's the before test. We're going to now change all the pads out, take my thing apart, hopefully not destroy everything in the process, and I'll do another test when I'm done. Adios. Okay, so hello ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I've just finished doing my mod on my MPK 61. I will say the instructions, quite rubbish. They're designed for either the MPK 25 or 49. There's some stuff that's just not properly explained in the 61 instruction section. So if you're watching, whoever made this, Mr. Quite Bazaar, you could do better with your instructions. But I will say the pads feel much better right off the bat. So we're going to turn the camera down so we can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing that is worth noting, so I don't have full level control on here. So if I click that, you'll be able to see. I do not have full level control on. I can just do the absolute lightest of touches and get triggers. You just could not do that before the mod. Like so on my screen here, it's telling me I'm getting like velocities of like 20, 21, 30. Just absolute lightest of touches. Before, like that would have just not even triggered at all. And I'm getting much, much better velocity response. So velocity response 10 times better, and I've not even mucked around with the settings on here to change the sensitivity yet. I'm just using whatever was before. So that's just right out the gate, much better. Okay, so I still suck at the pads. That didn't make any better. But they feel much better. So they feel a lot stiffer. Before there was definitely a kind of a squishiness to them. They feel much firmer. So they're actually a touch louder. Not in terms of velocity, but when you physically hit them, there's a bit more noise comes off them because it's stiffer. There's nothing to absorb that impact. But I'm just using so much less effort. Which is great. So I'm just like really relaxed. I'm not having to jab my hands in like I used to before. And I feel comfortable not having to use full level. So that was the big problem I used to always have, is I always had to use full level to really get any rhythms going. And whereas now I feel like just that's a pretty light touch there, and I'm able to get my full level. So I can get the full level when I need it, but I can get nice and quiet when I need to too. Which is great. So it means I'm not having to do what I used to do, which was record some MIDI and then go into, say, Reaper or Pro Tools and use the humanize velocity function, or maybe even pencil in velocity to get some variation. I can now feel much more comfortable just playing that. So using the pads like they were meant to be played. So in terms of the actual pads themselves, the difference it makes, fantastic. I'm absolutely delighted. 5 out of 5. Basically no missed hits. The occasional missed hits, but that's because these pads are quite small, so they're not huge pads, so it's easy to sometimes miss them. Much fewer missed hits, 10 times better velocity control. I'm really chuffed with that. I will say the instructions could definitely be improved. Improve your instructions. But it was great overall. I will say I ended up with a screw left over. I don't know where that screw came from, which makes me really nervous. So if my keyboard bursts into flames at any point, it's because I forgot to put an important screw back on. I will let you know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these videos. Hope you find them useful. I'll put a link to the exact eBay listing that I used if you want to also make this upgrade as well, because it has my recommendation. So thank you very much for watching. My name has been Mark Anson Audio. Adios.